Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel. And what a day we have in front of us, or behind us, or whatever you want to call it. It's only transfer deadline day, and I'll be honest, I'll be glad when the window is shut. It's been such an intense window for not only Tottenham Hotspur, Premier League clubs from around Europe. When that window always, and we have to say this, when the window slams shuts, it doesn't just close, it slams shut. I think we're all going to breathe a sigh of relief because it's been long, isn't it? It's been a window that seemed to have dragged on for absolutely ages. But what a deadline day we have so far. I've obviously been at work at Talksport all day, and to me, I mean, in the office, people running all over the place. You've had Jim White, you've had, Alex Crook, Ben Jacobs, Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein, all giving their updates today. And some of the names, Mark Gay situation is going off at the moment. Nicholas Jackson going to Bayern Munich, and Tottenham are involved in a deadline day deal, which I didn't think we would be. There's a lot of rumours been going around that would we do much, would we not do much? But that is what we're going to talk about today. So, as always, if you are new to the Saint Talk Spurs YouTube channel, you just tuned in to me, welcome to the live chat. 65 of you watching the live chat, 7 likes so far. That's absolutely fantastic. What a start there. But what we want to do is get the likes up to about 100 likes. If we hit my like target of 100 likes, I'll be very, very happy. Also, leave your comments, leave your questions in the chat. I'll on any topic you want, if you want to talk about deadline day in general, other deals that clubs might be doing, about Tottenham, about Randal Kolo Muani, who will be talking about very, very soon, about the game at the weekend, about anything. Get your questions in. And if you do a super chat, I'm more likely to answer your question because it pops up very bright and big. Any donations are always welcome. But yeah, leave your subscribes, likes, 31 likes. Really appreciate you guys. Over 100 people watching it right now. And we'll answer and look at some of your chats so far. Jonathan Boyd, regular contributor. Hello, Sonny. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. Sabutio Spurs says we're not going to sign anyone. That's who. Well, maybe you're wrong because there's already been a confirmation earlier today of a signing. The club is just waiting on the announcement of that, and we'll talk about that very soon. Suleiman Man says, I don't think we sign anybody else. Got to keep confident. You never know what could happen on a deadline day. Muggles ED1TZ says, come on, you Spurs. Big up. Jonathan Boyd, what is this deadline deal? Well, that is what we're going to talk about right now. So, and I want to get your guys' opinions on this because I'm very, very happy about this signing. It's Randal Kolo Muani from PSG. Obviously, has been confirmed. Here we go by Fabrizio Romano, who, don't get me wrong, we've been to war, us Spurs fans, with Fabrizio Romano this summer. And it's good to get a final bit of good news in the sense of, it has been David Ornstein has confirmed it as well. Looking like a loan with no obligation, no option, just a flat loan for the 26-year-old French international. Had a really good loan spell at Juventus last season, which I was, I kept over it. He was really good at the Club World Cup as well for Juventus. So I think, to be fair, this is a good deal. What we needed a forward. This guy can play on the left. He can play up top, and it gives us options with the injury to Dominic Solanke. We don't know how long he could be out for. Richarlison, injury troubles have, concerned him over the years. That's a worry. I think this is a good option. He can play in a multitude of different positions. It's a loan, so it's not too risky, which I like. So I'm pretty happy with the situation around Randal Kolo Muani. I also think, I've been touting this guy to Tottenham for many years now. I was touting him so I launched this channel. We're now going into the 3rd season of the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel. I was touting him back then. I was saying that we needed to go in and replace Harry Kane with Randal Kolo Muani before we signed Dominic Solanke last season and whatnot. And also, I even said it in January. I actually did a video saying why and how Randal Kolo Muani fixes a lot of Spurs' issues. I'll if you go back on the channel, if you type into the YouTube search box Randal Kolo Muani, Sonny Talk Spurs, it will pop up. And I watched it back earlier. Obviously, it's a bit outdated in the sense of the context, but the points still stand. This guy is a really good proven striker at Champions League level. You got to think of his time at Frankfurt, at Juventus just now. Don't look at his PSG situation. I think you have to ignore that. That is for certain. But as I say, we are now about an hour away, 55 minutes from deadline day ending from the transfer window slamming shut. 173 of you watching the live right now, 42 likes. Can we get up to 100 likes? As I said, leave your questions and any topics you want me to talk about, whether it's Tottenham Hotspur related, transfer related, Premier League related. Tottenham is, what did you make of the result of the weekend? I was there at the weekend. I saw a few fans, so it's good to see you. But as I say, leave your likes, leave your super chats if you could be so generous. I would really appreciate that. But there's other deals. Obviously, there's a lot of sales going on as well on this deadline day. Manuel Solomon is one who keeps being linked with moves away. Crystal Palace apparently in for him. Basuma's future's up in the air. What will happen with him as well? And there's another move that has been touted towards the end of deadline day. A few other players here and there. So we'll have to see what happens with them. But yeah, we'll go back to the chat. And someone said, what is this deadline day deal? It's obviously Randal Kolo Muani. Ademola Lookman, a few of you in the chat talking about him. I would love if we could try and get a last minute deal for Ademola Lookman. Nothing as of yet. If any of you see anything on Twitter from any sources, but Ademola Lookman, I had an inkling something could happen because if you look at the situation around Nicholas Jackson, Bayern Munich were going in for Ademola Lookman off the back of potentially Nicholas Jackson not going. But now it's been here we go for the second time this summer. Could you believe we've had two here we goes with the same player? Ademola Lookman's in limbo. He wants to leave Atalanta. He's handed in a transfer request. And if we've seen, we go from examples that we've seen this summer so far, Alexander Isak, Johan Visser, if you kick up a fuss, the teams are likely to sell. Mark Gahey, I could imagine, will happen. Seen a lot of rumours that it could fall through. But Palace need to sell because he's in his last year of his contract and he's happy to run that deal down. But going back to the chat, and Muggles has said, have we got Kolo yet? Hasn't been announced by the club as of yet, but it's pretty much done. Sky Sports posted some pictures earlier of him in central London doing his medical. He's probably headed to Hotspur Way to do all the snaps and the promo videos and whatnot. So he will be announced probably by the deadline. Maybe Tottenham will make a big thing of it and do it after the deadline. You know how it is. But it's pretty much all there. Personal details are done. And he will be playing for Tottenham Hotspur up top on the left, wherever you see fit. And then we have lost two and we got into. I think that's how Tottenham are going to operate. Mark Pitts has just said we do need to shift a few more before we bring any in. And if anything, it's hard to know what Spurs. Spurs are quite the deadline day specialists. We do like to, get a few deals over the line in the late stages. Daniel Levy selling and buying actually. So it does make you think. Yeah, and JR Martinez saying, do you think we should get anyone else? Also, a fact that I've said about Ademola Lookman, Tottenham are also very keen to bring in a defender. We've obviously seen, Mickey van der Ven and Romero are the starting duo. Kevin Danzo, a backup option, or if we play a back three. Luka Vuskovic has gone on loan to Hamburg. Kota Takai is coming back from injury. Radu Dragoson's back in training, coming back from injury. So do we need one more body? And if, let me know your suggestions in the chat as well. Who is there anyone you think we should be trying to get in the last hour? Because what you got to remember as well is even though the window slams shut at 7 o'clock, there's still time for deals to be done after that. As long as they get their deal sheets in, as long as they get, most of the faxes. I don't know if people are still using fax machines in football, but as long as they get them in before the deadline, then the rest of it can be done, like personal terms and goal bonuses and whatnot. So that will be really interesting to see. We got Kolo, but we need Lookman. Yeah, I think we do need Lookman. Suleiman. I think that would be a really, really good deal if we could get that done. A lot of people in the chat saying about Lookman. Nothing as of yet. Nothing I've seen about Ademola Lookman just yet. But, in the final hours, you never know what could happen. Keep your fingers crossed, Spurs fans. I'm hoping something will happen because I think that would give us more option. I wouldn't even mind if we loaned out Matthias Tell or a Wilson Odobert to get an Ademola Lookman. As 229 of you are watching me right now on deadline day, happy to have you all joining. If you are new, leave your likes. We want to get to my goal of 100 likes on this stream. If we could surpass 150, I'll be even more happier. Subscribe if you're just discovering me now, and also leave super chats in the chat, and I'm more likely to answer your questions. And Lynch616 says, Levy didn't spend any money on deadline day when we need players. But what I see it as is we've got in a forward who can play on the left, the right, and through the middle, and it's a loan. So there is the possibility that there's still cash for Tottenham to spend. Also, let me know what you've made of the window. How do you rate Tottenham's window out of 10? Because if you think about it, Kota Takai's come in as a defender. Xavi Simons is the marquee signing. Absolutely buzzing with that. I was at the game on Saturday and saw him, unveiled and all that stuff, waving to the fans. That was good to see. Mohamed Kudus, who's sort of hit the ground running, I would say, has looked really sharp in his first couple of appearances for Spurs. So I think as a whole, Tottenham have had a good window. You've got to remember as well, Romero signed a new contract. There's a lot of good deals that have happened. So let me know what you think of our transfer window off the top of your head as well. But looking at the chat now, Jonathan Boyd said, "Is it true we rejected an offer to sell Solomon?" So the Solomon latest, unless anything's changed since I last read, which was about half an hour ago, was Palace want an option to buy, but we want them to have an obligation. We want to get rid of Solomon. But Palace, they could do with the play. They missed out on Bilal Kanous. They're still looking to replace Eberici Eze. And also, if you think about it, they need a bit of a deadline day signing to sort of get them a bit excited. Sabuto Spurs says, any other players? I've not seen many names yet. If you see any transfer links as you're scrolling through Twitter and watching this at the same time, let me know. As I say, at the moment, I've got you guys in front of me here. I've got my phone next to me with some transfer notifications popping through as we speak, trying to be like the Jim White role. And then on my iPad, I've got TalkSport's transfer deadline day stream, just seeing if any deals are popping off left, right, and centre. Because as I say, there's a lot going on deadline day. You've got Mark Gahey's situation boiling down to the final hours. Apparently, Crystal Palace's replacement had fallen through. Mark Gay's done his medical, but we're not sure if he's going to sign yet for Liverpool. So that is really, really interesting. Gary Riddell, good morning from Newport Beach, California. How are you doing? Lovely that I'm getting over to you guys in the States. Thank you for watching. And what time is it over in California that you're up and watching deadline day streams? It's really good to see. Ben Kent says, we desperately need protests. Left so short, man. Terrible window. You know what? I think the window is good. When we look in like a couple of days' time, we'll go, this is not a bad window. But we've not left it short. We've left it late. This deal for Randal Kolo Muani should have been done absolutely months ago, weeks ago. Xavi Simons, too late. We needed Xavi Simons at home against Bournemouth to make the difference. That's what it comes down to. Mohamed Kudus was signed at a perfect time, but you've got to think of what has happened in the sense of we knew that the Morgan Gibbs White deal fell through. We then got the injury to James Maddison. We've seen all this happen, us Spurs fans, in front of our eyes. Daniel Levy has, and at the end of the day, he's got a good deal for Mohamed Kudus. He's got a good deal for Xavi Simons. I think he's got a good deal for Randal Kolo Muani, which Ola Spurs says as well. It is a good deal, but it's so late. We don't operate in an efficient way, and that is Daniel Levy's fault. And many people will sit there and go, and I know I've just said there, oh, it might look like it's been a good window on paper, but the clubs don't want to work with Daniel Levy, hence why, Eze might have fallen through and Morgan Gibbs White. I think at the end of the day, we have got the better player in Xavi Simons, being quite biased, but it is one of those ones where you think if we'd operated earlier and say we went into the first game of the season against PSG, then Burnley, then City, then Bournemouth with a set squad, I think we would have been absolutely even more flying than we have been. I think, the Bournemouth game was crying out for some creativity and we didn't have that. And that's not on, Thomas Frank, you can question his setup maybe, but I think if he had like a Xavi Simons or a James Maddison or a Dejan Kulusevski in that game, you're looking at a different result. No one to link the midfield with the defence. No one to link the attack either. So that was quite frustrating. Spurs chat says Lookman ? And Jonathan Boyd saying Lookman going to AC Milan, I think. Is that your opinion or have you seen something? Because I've not seen any updates on Ademola Lookman in a little while. So I'm really intrigued to see what the situation is with that. And I've just realised I'm very far behind on the chat. So I'm trying to see where I'm going. But as I look, 233 of you watching, thank you. There's so many streams for Deadline Day, and you've come to a designated and dedicated Spurs one, 89 likes. Get 10 more likes. We hit my goal of 100. If we get to 150 or 200, I'll be absolutely buzzing. And as I say, leave your super chat, subscribe if you're new. We want to build, I'm only about, I think I'm about at the time of recording, 200 or so subs away from the big 10,000. And when I get to 10,000, I might shed a tear. But where have we got up to? I'm sorry, I've lost where I was on the chat. Someone said, do, do, do. Anyone other than Kolo, we really need a left wing and a centre back. Sabito Spurs says, I. We're running out of options, and also we've hit 111 likes. Thank you guys, really, really appreciate that. But yeah, it's hard to know. And Focus Pocus Music says, how much left of the window? We've got about 45 minutes till the window slams shut, but there's still going to be some time after that for deals to get done. Spurs chat saying Lookman question mark. A lot of people, and Andrea Fonseca says Lookman won't join Bayern. Can we sign him? There might be a chance. I mean, I'll take a loan at this stage, so it's hard. It's hard at the moment. We are quarter Sonny. We are back low. Yes. Yes, mate. Aaron J. Love it. Beyond the Cop says, smashing it, mate. Glad to see you going live again. Kolo Muani, mental move from Spurs. I think it's a really good deal. I think it's a really, really good deal. And as I say, I've been loving the live streams. I think this is about my 5th or 6th live stream now. And I thought, gotta do one for deadline day. I did one for the Champions League draw. I did my first game one for Manchester City. I've been going live and reacting to, most of them have been quite negative. Eze and Morgan's White ones were the other two. So yeah, it is what it is. Mika Standen says, we getting anyone else? So Kolo Muani is the focal point at the moment. But, there's been rumours. I mean, I've seen Alistair Gold say, I've seen him say centre back and left wing, but I don't know. It's getting quite tight, isn't it? I've not seen much. If you guys see anything on Twitter, let me know. Favelli says we will sign Ala Legman. I don't know what that means. Let me know what that means. Common New Spurs says get Kolo Muani. Yeah, that's pretty much done, guys. Kolo Muani is pretty much done. So that's pretty good from that. Sabito Spurs, surely we get a left winger. But then when you look at the left wing situation, we've got Matthias Tell, we've got Odebeck can play out there, Brennan Johnson, Kudus. Maybe we've got to get rid of some players, guys. We've got to get rid of Malon Solomon. We've got to get rid of there's another player who's been linked with a move today, and it's escaped me. If anyone can remember, I mean, Basuma as well. There's been another player who's been linked with a move today, and I can't remember who it is. That's annoying. I should know better. But if you guys can think of the other player who's been linked with a move away from Spurs, Brian Hill. Brian Hill, apparently he's on his way to Girona. That's who it was. He's so forgettable. That's why it's left me. Paul from Singapore says, hi, Sonny. Thanks for the company as I stay late in the office to complete some work. We're all working hard on deadline day. Hopefully you've not got too many deadlines to meet at work, but big up Paul from Singapore. Another guy, I don't know how to pronounce, Eletivi says, Lookman. Hopefully, Jonathan Boyd. Basuma will stay, I imagine. Nothing's really happened, is it? But yeah. Robert Austin, hi. Shout out. I'm new. Hello, Robert Austin. Hope you're doing well. Subscribe if you are new. Leave your likes and super chats. Would really appreciate that. We're on 121 likes. If we could get to 200, my mind will be blown. 200 and over 216 of you in the live at the moment. Very consistent numbers. I really appreciate it. There's so many different Spurs channels live at the moment. The fact you've all picked me, that's the best part of deadline day. Forget Randal Kolo Muani. Let's go. Spurs chat again saying Lookman. I don't know. I've not heard anything, not even a rumor of Lookman. I think we're all just me, Ben Bowman. Everyone is just hoping that something might happen. Jonathan Boyd said, Muani, here we go. Yep, happened a couple of hours ago, Jonathan. Probably about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been at Talk Towers all day. It's been hectic, you can imagine. But yeah, and funny enough, I'll tell you a quick story now, guys, before I move on and answer for some more questions. So when I go into the office, I work about 8 o'clock in the morning till 4. So I'm up at about 5:45, leave the house. And I get to the office about 7:30, 8. And this morning, I walk in the door, and who's there standing in front of me? It's Mr. Deadline Day himself, Jim White, obviously of Sky Sports fame, now of TalkSport fame. And we're having a little chat. And I say to him, Randal Kolo Muani. It was such a small room at the time. I said, keep an eye on Randal Kolo Muani, Jim. And he went, right. And it's happening. It's happening. We're getting Randal Kolo Muani. So am I feeding transfer news to Jim White now? Am I telling Mr. Deadline Day what's going on at Spurs? Hopefully. And then we got John 22161 says transfers in the Premier League have been crazy this window. Definitely best league in the world. We've done pretty well. I'm happy with how things have gone. Think of how many transfers have gone from the Bundesliga to the Premier League this summer. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy that they've pretty much, you know, I think the Premier, like the money that Liverpool have spent, and City and Chelsea and Arsenal and even us, and even Villa today. Villa signing Harvey Elliott, Jadon Sancho. Do you know what? As well, I'll say this now before I move back to the chat. A lot of Spurs fans wanted Harvey Elliott. I actually spoke to my dad on the way home as well as I was walking home, and he said, "Why didn't we go in for Harvey Elliott?" But it is what it is at this stage. Um, so Robert Austin again on Twitter says Tottenham has decided a deal with Atalanta. Who's reporting that, Robert Austin? Is there anyone reporting that? Lookman to buy an off says not none of them people dare. Who's reporting that? I need some sources before I can believe some of this stuff. And Biggie Singh Joel says, "Big up, Sonny. Big up, mate. Hope you're doing well." The Big D can't believe we haven't just got Lookman deal just done already. Yeah, hopefully something happens in the next 40 minutes. And also, I'm a bit annoyed that we didn't go in for a Kanji. Looks set to be going to Inter Milan. Some JMP says, "Give me Ake." I think Ake would be good because he can play left back, probably could play right back as well, and also centre back as well. So that'd be good. Listen, Hines says, "How many minutes are left?" I mean, there's about 39 minutes till the transfer window slams shut. So that's all right. Lynch 616 says we're not getting a defender. Villa had to take Lindelof on loan. Yeah, there's not much going on, is there? It's like playing draft in FPL. There's not many options. Gary William Rayner says Levy is hopeless, pretty much. Spurs chat says love your channel. Thank you, mate. We should go for a left winger before a centre back. Yeah, I agree. I think we need more attackers at the moment than we do defenders. Robert Austin says, "Is Kanji happening?" I've just said no. He looks like set to go to Inter Milan. How much? A lot of people saying how much time left. It shuts at 7. It shuts at 7. And Saz30 makes a great point, what I said at the beginning of the stream. Kolo is our left winger / striker signing. He can play both, so that's not too bad. And Gary Rodell saying Gil was gone 8.6 million. I'm surprised we got any money for him, to be fair. But yeah, Hola Spurs says would be amazing window if we could pull off Lookman. I would really be happy with that. Where's the Savinho money? That's the thing with Spurs. There was the 60 million going around in circles, and that went on Morgan Gibbs White, then Eze, then it went on to Xavi Simmons. So yeah, it's all been all over the place. Richello Florito Canetti Jr., great name by the way, said it's all great and all, but I worry about Lucas, Tell, and Odebear. I hope they won't ask for a transfer. They won't be leaving. That was all silly rumours this morning. So yeah, we'll see about that. Matt, I don't know how to say this name. Matt1 Texas 8 out of 10 window. Let me know your scores of what you think of the window in the chat. And Max J. Louis says, "Great work, Levy." A lot of different opinions. I've got 9 out of 10 windows from Saz30. I've got a 9 out of 10 window from Focus Music. Gives it a 9 out of 10. But yeah, I mean, Holler Spurs is tell us a baller who needs more minutes. Kane loves him. Yeah, I mean, he's got potential, isn't he? It's one of those ones. But yeah, listen, Heinz says Aston Villa were asking for Odebear and Bergwall. Apparently, don't believe that. It weren't a solid rumor. Was not a solid rumor whatsoever. But yeah, Favelli says 8 out of 10 window. Mark Pitt says about 5 out of 10. That's quite low, isn't it? But yeah, Dan says you're the only Tottenham streamer live at the minute. Fair play, mate. Great content. And you better stay on the stream. You better stay on this stream. A lot of people saying, "Is Lookman coming?" We don't know yet. We do not know anything. Any news on rumors? There's really nothing going on. RBC 9114 says 7 out of 10. And very appreciated of this. Give you a little light there as well. Spurs chat has donated 199 through a super chat. Thank you, mate. Really, really appreciate it. As I say, there's about 230 plus of you watching, 129 likes. If we can leave a like at the bare minimum, that would be great. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And also, if you want to be like Spurs chat and give a donation of any amount, I would appreciate that very much. It would be very, very good. David Ornstein has just tweeted, Manchester City set to complete signing of Gianluigi Donnarumma from PSG. PSG Colba arrives at Manchester City with Edison moving to Fenerbahce. So, yeah, that's the latest on Donnarumma. Max J. Louis says 8 out of 10 window. Yeah, it's quite. I'd say 7 at the moment. I'll probably maybe up and down my score depending. I'll probably put a video live tomorrow reacting to the window as a whole and Kolo Muani and whatnot. So stay tuned for that. Hit your notification bells when you subscribe. Rate the window on work done or by how much our competition have done in comparison. I think we've kept up well. Like considering where Spurs operate at the moment, I think we've had a good window. At the end of the day, we're not gonna while Levy's in charge, we're not gonna spend like Arsenal, like Chelsea, like Liverpool have shocked everyone this summer, haven't they? So yeah. Sabito Spurs says Randal Kolo Muani has just signed his contract as new Spurs player. Has that been announced by the club yet? Or is that coming? Is that coming in the next couple of hours or so? Uh Clips of Solomon last season looked very good. He was quite good for Leeds last year, but I don't think he's good for us. So, but yeah, I don't know with Solomon. I think Solomon is one of the ones where I just think he's not going to do it at this level for us, is he? We might as well cash in if we can, loan him out, get rid. I feel like that would be good enough at the moment. Um, yeah, it's hard to really look. I'm just seeing if there's any updates actually, and there's nothing at the moment. There's nothing really going on. It's really annoying. Uh, but yeah, it's just it looks like all I'm seeing is like what they called tumbleweeds going uh at the moment. But yeah, nothing too much. I'll have a little scroll more um to see if anything's going on. All I see at the moment is just pictures of Matt Law, nothing from Matt Law. Brian Hill highlights for Spurs, there's nothing. Um Yeah, Fulham looking at Kevin. Really not much. Oh, there's actually been an update about Luka Vuskovic. Spurs offer me an option to stay to play in case of injury or cut matches, but I wanted continuous minutes. I rate that from Luka Vuskovic. I feel like that's a really good idea for him, really. But yeah, it's a weird one at the moment, isn't it? It's a weird little transfer window. Um, Norman Namahonga says, believe in Spurs should get Ake and Lookman. I'd love that. But yeah, gut feeling, Lookman will get done. A lot of people positive that Lookman can get done. Mawani is officially signed. Romano, has he just tweeted that? Let me have a look. I've got David Ornstein notifications, but I don't trust Fabrizio Romano sometimes. I mean, here we go, Paqueta at the weekend, but where's the last one? Not a lot. Who's that? Fulham. Oh yeah, 26 minutes. Randal Kolo Muani has just signed his contract as new Tottenham player. Good to hear that, guys. Randal Kolo Muani, a deadline day signing for Tottenham. Levy, please get Lookman, says Spurs chat. Yeah, I agree. 2 quality permanent, 2 quality loans, 2 teenagers, 150 net spend. How is this different from any other window? What new investment? 6.5 out of 10. Xavi Simons could be one of the signings of the season. You know, from watching him from watching the game at the weekend, I feel like Xavi Simons could be the final piece of a jigsaw puzzle. We lack so much creativity, final ball, dribbling from deep, and I think Xavi Simons will bring that. Obviously, at the moment, because we have the injuries to James Madison Day and Kulusevski, so he fills that gap really, really well. 236 of you are watching. Thank you so much. And we've hit my like goal, 152. Can we get to 200? If all of you like the video right now, we will hit 200. And as I said as well, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also get your super chats, get your questions in the chat. I'm trying to get through them as well. But yeah, as Gary Rodell says, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, California, sunny day at the beach on a holiday Monday. Sounds lovely. Sounds absolutely fantastic. Right, I have just lost my place in the chat. This chat feature, sometimes I'll have it in like the perfect place and then it just jumps to the bottom. Um, Romano, Lookman should come. Yeah. Jonathan Boyd says, if we get the deal done for Lookman, at what stage of the signing process must be complete within the hour? So what they can do is, and you guys, I've been working in this industry now for like seven or so, 6-7 years. I worked at Sky before I worked at Talk Sports. I've been at Talk Sport for nearly 4 years. I was at Sky Sports for 3 years, so I've done many deadline days. When the window shuts, so for example, we've got about half an hour till the window shuts. I will probably stream to about 8 o'clock in case there's any updates or something comes out the ether. What teams can do, or what clubs can do, or negotiating. So say Randal Kolo Muani wasn't done before the deadline day, and you've got PSG here and you've got Spurs here. You've got two entities, agents in the middle, and it's all going backwards and forwards. What they can do is the team signing him, so Tottenham can go forward to the governing body with a deal sheet and say, we're basically there. We've filled this sheet out. This is just guaranteeing that we've just got to, dot a few I's, cross a few T's, and the deal will get done. Obviously, it could still fall through. There could be like a snag in, say, Randal Kolo Muani, PSG go, no, we want you to pay 80% of his wages, not 70. There could be stumbling blocks. So there is the possibility that deals can still fall through, but it just gives teams, a little bit extra, weight. I mean, funny enough, this is the first deadline day I've done. Usually they wrap up at about 11 and midnight, but 7 o'clock on a Monday. Very, very random. Very, very random indeed. And as Saz says, transfers are not easy for Spurs. They're not easy. They're not easy. Daniel Levy knows his way of delaying deals. It's not easy whatsoever. Well, our Spurs says best window in recent memory. To be fair, when you put some of our windows up in the last couple of years, remember the year we said we had a good window when we signed Fraser Forster and Basuma and Jed Spence. Jed Spence at the time, I think Fraser Forster was probably the best signing in hindsight, but then Jed Spence has come through and looks really good. Solomon kinds of I'm not sure about this comment. Solomon kind of reminds me of Salah. No. Adam McFarlane, this is we're done. If Adam McFarlane thinks we're done, we don't know. We don't know. There's still time. There's still time. Link 616 says transfers not easy for Spurs because Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy. Bailey says, hello, mate. How you doing? Simmons better than Morgan Gibbs White and Eze. He's better than Lucas Paqueta as well, mate. That's all I'll say about that. Two Dance Soulful, Levy and Lang are clearly not as switched on as the top clubs. We need to catch up. The pair of them should not be taking holiday leave during the window. At the end of the day, like how much scouting and scouting and soul searching has really gone into these signings this summer. A majority of us knew that João Palhinha was a good player. A majority of us knew that Xavi Simons was a good player. So, Kolo Muani, we know he's in. There's not really been too much in it. It's just when it comes to getting other clubs in the room and trying to negotiate, we always end up being rubbish. As on my other stream on my iPad, Jim White is kicking off the TalkSport deadline day last half an hour. I think they're going to be live until about 9. So, and I'll be live. I'll be live as long as we've got about nearly 250 watching, 164 likes. I'll be live as long as I can because I just want to see if Spurs get something done tonight. Ricardo says, I saw on Twitter Lucas might be asking for a loan. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that is going to happen. Favelli says, Plettenberg just tweeted that Lookman will not join Bayern. Okay, let me have a little look at Florian Plettenberg. How has he worded that tweet? Because I guess I said earlier about Nicholas Jackson. Yeah, he literally just said that. Ademola Lookman will not join FC Bayern, deal off. Maybe Tottenham swoop in then, hopefully. That would be very, very good. Savio money, us not gone. We just don't want the waste on players. Frank don't want Grop. I think Thomas Frank knows what players he wants. I think he has been back to an extent. He could have been back to a little bit more. But yeah, we'll see. And Adam McFarlane saying, am I related to Kane? I get it all the time. I get it so much that I look like Harry Kane. I'll take it as a compliment. Actually, for the first time on Saturday, so as I said, I went to the Bournemouth game and I went with my dad and he said, do people recognise you at Spurs games? And I was like, no, I've not actually had anyone. I've had someone recognise me at a festival from my Football Daily days and from TalkSport, but no one really from the channel. But I had quite a few people come up to me and went, are you Sonny Talk Spurs? Sonny Talk Spurs. And I was like, oh my God, this is a bit surreal. But yeah, I appreciated chatting to you guys and massive support on the channel. And as I say, like 244 of you watching, 167 likes. It's massive for me. This is massive for me. And I'm growing the channel. As I say, I'm about 200 subs away from the mighty 10,000. And when I get to that, it'll be a massive achievement after doing this channel for about 3 years. But yeah, as I say, 244 of you watching, leave your likes, subscribe, hit the notification bell so it lets you know when I go live when I'm streaming like this. And also leave your super chats and I'm more likely to answer your questions. Lynch says we're getting Muani done last minute, and that's all. It probably could be the last one, couldn't it? Alistair Gold said Spurs are done in this window. To be fair, this morning I heard Matt Law say we weren't going to do anything. I heard the Times reporters saying we were going to do something. Then we signed Kolo Muani. So be careful. You don't know. Like I saw Bournemouth signed a defender out of nowhere. No one. You just don't know sometimes. Transfers and signings could happen anytime. Anytime. Two Don Soulful says would have last minute deal though. Come on, Mr. Levy, do it. Come on, guys. And Spurs chat, yeah, you did send a super chat. Thank you for that. Really, really appreciate it. Christian Epson says, but Gold didn't really say why he thinks they're off a left winger. Only said centre back is because options on the list were not available. We left it too late. We've left it too late. Jack Pierce says 6 out of 10 for this window without Lookman. Yeah, if we got Lookman, it'd probably be an 8, wouldn't it? I'd say it's a 7, but if we get Lookman, it's probably a 9. Jonathan Boyd says Hill. Yeah, Hill looks like he's gone. Thank God. Get rid of him. Apparently, Lookman to Gala, Osherman convincing his international teammate. Why? He's in his peak. He's in his peak. 2 years ago, he scored in a Europa League final. He's got a hat trick. Why would he want to go to Galatasaray? Honestly. Wow. There's me rant. DK Dank says it helps that you're positive. I hate all the negativity in some of the other channels. I am a glass half full sometimes. What's the point of moaning? Because it's just, I'll protest. I'll say what don't like about Levy. I still think we've had an all right window. I still think it's been okay. There's positives to take from it. And we're in our first season under a new manager. Like, give it time. We won the Europa League a couple of months ago. There's stuff to be happy about. Gary Riddell, non-Spurs related, saying James Trafford must be well annoyed with Donna Kabob going to City. I would be if I was him. Max J. Lewis says we don't need a centre-back. Draxon will be back within the month. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think Dragosin is more suited to Frank's style of football. He's not going to have to run like bloody 100-meter sprints all the time. So, yeah, I'm happy about that. Let me get you, says Lookman and puts 2 eyes emoji. Do you know something that I don't? Paul from Singapore, I'm excited about Randall, but my strongest memory of him is missing the one-on-one chance in the last minute versus Argentina in the World Cup final. It was one-on-one with Emiliano Martinez. Yeah, we forget about that. Don't worry. And Spurs chat, you sent another 79p donation. Thank you very much. If you want to do the same as Spurs chat and leave donations as well, you know what to do in the chat box. Sully Harman says Lookman want 55 million. Well, why don't we have another loan option? Why don't we go for a loan with an obligation? And also 55 million, pay it. Pay it. Spidey says, what time does the window shut? It shuts at 7 o'clock, but I'll probably stay live till about 8. 40 minutes, someone replied. Yeah, that was probably 40 minutes when I read that, when the question was submitted. Two Don Soulful says, do we not like to go for the likes of Grealish and Elliott because clearly Lang does not rate them? I mean, Grealish has started well. I think Grealish is the perfect fit at Everton more than Spurs, I'd say. Harvey Elliott I like, but again, maybe not. One of those things that, just didn't happen. Yeah, Spurs chat, you did send 2 super chats. I really appreciate that, though, mate. Are people thinking Solomon will not work his magic in the Premier League? I think it was just I don't know what Spurs were thinking with that deal. It just hasn't really worked out. Didn't we use the money for Savinho and Xavi? But you got to remember there was money apparently for, at the time, Savinho and Eze, or Savinho and Morgan Gibbs-White. So there's still something going on, hopefully. Christian Ipson says Atalanta seem to be demanding too much for Lookman. I'd pay it. I'd pay it. Jonathan Boyd says 30 minutes until Sonny breaks the news of a huge Spurs bomber. I wish, my friend. Grant Harry, hopefully we're still stringing Palace along with Solomon. A lot of people saying we definitely need wingers. It's just Spurs chat again saying 8 out of 10. If left winger, 10 out of 10. Sabutio Spurs says 6 out of 10, 6 or 7 out of 10. JS 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10s. But yeah, and people saying, could Kane come back next summer? I wouldn't say no. Paul from Singapore, thank you, mate. He has sent 2 Singapore dollars. I don't know what that is in. I'm actually intrigued to find out what that is in pounds. Singapore dollars to GDP. So 50p. Oh no, no, that's one. 2 Singapore dollars is about £1.15. Thank you very much, mate. I really, really appreciate that. Any donation, I really appreciate it. I love doing these live streams, getting to talk to you guys because as you probably all know, if you do subscribe, if you haven't already, go and do that. But I love interacting with you guys in the comment section, a bit of engagement, a bit of a debate or discussion. And this is the perfect thing because I'm literally responding to your questions. So this is the best time for the 210 of you watching this right now. Get your questions in, get your opinions in, and about anything really. Even if want to ask what my favorite dessert is, or how I got into this industry. I'm keen to talk about whatever because I'm probably going to be live for another hour and 20. The window shuts at 7. I'll probably stay live for an hour just in case. But I know what happened. As soon as I hit the stream, it'll be Tottenham are selling Xavi Simons. He wants to go to Chelsea. He's made a mistake. People saying 9 if you get Lookman, 8 if you get Lookman. Do you think we can compete for the Champions League and Premier League? Champions League, I think we will get to the round of 16. I think our league phase draw was quite generous. Premier League, I predicted at the beginning of the season between 6th and 8th. I think that's probably, I'd say 6th or 7th now. Lookman went to Fenerbahce, Fabrizio tweeted. Is that true? Matt Laws just tweeted something as well. Told that with it, what's this? Oh, God. Does it look like Sterling's going to Fulham, maybe? They've signed, what? They've got too many wingers. What is going on there? Fabrizio Romano, has he tweeted about Lookman? Rasmus Højlund. I'm not seeing anything. If I type Lookman into Twitter, what comes up? What's the latest? Oh, who's Dean Jones, who I don't even know who's that from, says Tottenham are set to walk away from a potential deal to sign Ademola Lookman. Atalanta are willing to sell the forward for £43 million. Buy him, but will not agree to Spurs' demand to sign the player on initial loan with the option. See, we're cheaping it, aren't we? The club have prioritised signing a central forward. I guess that's within it. I bet there'll be some big news about Dominic Solanke. Rudy Galletti saying Galatasaray continue to track Lookman. The priority remains a new goalkeeper. So there's that to look out for. But Ademola Lookman, yeah, we're not joining Bayern. Honestly. God, Sefsus Ezandor says we need a right back and left wing forward, left mid full. What? I don't think we need all those players, mate. Spurs would be punching if we get top 5. Yeah, I think we could finish 6th or 7th. If we get 5th, then that's Champions League, but it's something to aim for. I mean, the weekend result was annoying. It was obviously unexpected, you could say, at home, but we'll see. Hopefully we can, with Xavi Simons, he can bridge the gap. Adam McFarlane says, no, too early to Frank's reign. Where's the goals coming from? Hopefully Kolo Muani and Xavi Simons. We will see. A lot of it. Matoma. Yeah, I mean, Matoma, I don't know. He's one that I'm really not sure about, Matoma. He's... I don't know. I don't know about Lookman. I don't know about... I don't know about Matoma. Sorry, I know about Lookman. But yeah, it's one of those ones where it's getting tricky. It's getting late in the day. But yeah, I'm going to scroll down the chat a little bit because there's so many questions. And as I say, if you do send super chats, I'm more likely to see them, as Payne has done. US dollars 199, and he says if we get Lookman, I'll donate 100. Sign Lookman then, please. No, I'm joking. Hopefully, but I've now got to the bottom of the chat, so if you can get your questions in down there, that would be much easier. Yeah, it would. If you, as I say, with super chats, there's 200 of you sending questions, so it's hard to try and answer them all. But as I say, if you send super chats, like Spurs chat has done, like Payne has done, like Paul from Singapore has done, I'd really appreciate it. It was Paul from Singapore, wasn't it? Oh, I'm getting confused with there's so many different names in there. It is Paul from Singapore, but yeah, I think the Lookman signing is really good if we can get that over the line. But it's one where I'm just like, it's with Spurs in transfers and last minute deals. It's always we're always the bridesmaid, never the bride, are we? We're always like chasing our tail, or never doing the next step to get it over the line, or so many missed opportunities. It can be really, really frustrating. But I think when you look at it, and I'm having a little scroll around, and Seb Martin's done a video on his YouTube channel, and when you look at the window, Palhinha, you got to look at. You've got to look at Kudus, Xavi Simons. There's a lot of good there's a lot of good players we could have gone for. There's a lot of different, we could have done a lot more, but I think what we've done is quite good. I think we've improved in certain areas that we needed to improve in. If you think, you know, like we needed a dribbly wingers, and we needed a winger who could dribble and go at defenders. We've got that Mohamed Kudus. We needed a destroyer, number 6. We got Polina. We needed a creative attacker, which was a bit of a last minute change in plan. And we got Xavi Simmons. We needed a striker at the moment, or versatile forward. We got Randal Kolo Muani. So yeah, it's one of those things where you just hope we could do a bit more. But yeah, Spurs Chat says, I'm an aspiring football manager. What do you think is a good place to get there? I mean, I've not got any managerial experiences. Obviously, getting your badge is important. I'd say coaching like at youth level and building your way up, is really good. Trying to improve players, different ages is a good way to start. But yeah, really, 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 that's very impressive, mate. I really, good going with that. Hopefully you'll achieve a lot in the game and maybe one day be a Spurs manager. A lot of people saying Matoma. A lot of people saying Matoma could be an option. But again, Lookman, I mean, do you know what? I want to talk about this point as well. Abito Le Wakandes, what a name that is, says Kolo Muani can dribble. I was watching some of his montages earlier today, and he is good at dribbling. And you got to think like a winger in Frank's system is completely different to a winger in Andy's system. A winger in Andy's system wants to pin themselves to the wing and not really cut in. Randal Kolo Muani, he's like an inside forward. He wants to dribble at defenders, which is what we need, which is what we lacked at the weekend. Whereas at the moment, I'd say Solanke likes, picking up from deep and going into the area. Richardson's better in the box. We've got 3 different, we've got so many different sort of players now, which I really like to see. So yeah, it's one of those ones where I quite like the idea. And Cyborg Gerbil says we need 3 or 4 more quality players. Who do you reckon we should get if you want 3 or 4 more quality players? And B-Bot, yeah, I just hate that we always sign late. We do, don't we, mate? It's just Daniel Levy. Lee Halstrip says people need to get over the homegrown stuff. We don't have an issue with homegrown. We have an issue with club trained. 2 very completely different things. And Payne again, mate. Thank you. $4.99 US. I don't know my conversion rate, but thank you very much. And he says, we'll be going to my first at Spurs game this winter. Love this community. Excited to meet some proper fans. Big up. What do you know what game you'll be going to? I'm hoping to go to a few more Spurs games. As I say, I was at Bournemouth for my first game of the weekend, first game of the season at the weekend. Obviously, didn't end up how I wanted it to be, but I had a great day with my dad. As I said, met a few fans who came up to me, getting pictures and everything, which was so surreal. Really appreciate it. But as I say, 190 of you still in the chat watching, 187 likes. If you are new around here, leave your likes, subscribe, leave your super chats. I'm more likely to see and answer your questions because there's loads of questions being fired off by you guys. So I really, really appreciate it. Adam McFarlane says Takai and Vuskovic look quality. So I'm glad Vuskovic is going to get some minutes and Takai still come back from injury. What do you make of Solanke and his injury? I've seen mixed things. I saw a tweet earlier from a reporter saying that apparently he's had an injection and it might not be as bad. They're going to assess it over the international breaks. Hopefully he has a bit of time off and he needs he can get better. And again, Paulinia French says Solanke needs surgery. There's so many different things on it. It's been really weird. Mikey Austin Riley says, I think this window has been a solid 8 out of 10 considering the quality of players we've brought in. Sheesh, Lookman would make it a 9.5. I think it would. It's really, really interesting. And Spurs chat, I think and Dyer from Everton would be good. Oh, he looks so good. I've had him in fantasy teams, so I've kept an eye on him. And he's just, he'll make a big move next year. No offense to Everton, but he'll be going to a top club. Gary Rodell, I'm watching Sky Sports while listening to If Anything Breaks, I'll let you know. See, I've got reporters in the field. And also, don't watch Sky Sports. Watch TalkSport if you're going to watch something else. Keep supporting TalkSport. Barry God said, Lookman wanted to join us. Why didn't we get him? We should have gone for him. It's really, really frustrating. Gary Dale said, my first game live was 1968. Wow, my dad was born in 1966. So that is very, very impressive. Last Minute Hype says, I saw you at the Bournemouth game. I was the kid who showed you my TikTok account. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. Really glad to meet you on the weekend. And I'll be honest. Last Minute Hype. I don't know if you could put links in here, but You should go check out his TikTok. It was really, really impressive. Really, really impressed by that. So big up to you. Hope I'm glad if you got your picture. Not many people want to have a picture of me. Not even my own dad. No, I'm joking. We also bumped into Ben from We Are Tottenham TV, which is great. So that was quite funny. My dad just texted me saying, "Man U 100 million loss on Anthony and Hoyland. If you think well selling's bad, then look at that." The Liverpool game, mate, says Payne. What yesterday? Are you talking about the Liverpool game, or are you talking about another game? Er, Pain. Jonathan Boyd said, "How did Solanke injure his ankle to the extent that he needs surgery? Maybe it's a recurring injury because when he came on against Manchester City, he looked really, really good. So yeah." And Tottenham's Adam McFarlane saying Tottenham need money for the hotels, pretty much. And Cyborg Gerbil says Savino, Wharton, and Lookman. Take Lookman. Shame about Savino, but Wharton's going to be going next year for really, really big. So yeah. As I take a little drink. Paulina French is at the stadium on Sunday randomly just to see Post Malone and Jelly Rolo. My sister's seeing Post Malone actually at Spurs. I don't know where she's sitting. Barty Guys says since we haven't signed a left winger, we can play Xavi in left wing, Kolo in strike. Yeah, the thing is we've got so many versatile forwards now. So yeah, and also we need to try and hopefully we get some of our players back from injury very, very soon. Norman Nayahunga says Morgan Rogers deal is still on. According to who? According to who? As you know, we are now approaching the last 9 minutes of transfer deadline day, and not a lot is happening in regard to Tottenham Hotspur, which is quite frustrating. Quite frustrating, I will say. Hopefully, if we keep the faith and all pray together, we'll get a deal done for Ademola Lookman or someone. I mean, someone just said Morgan Rogers, but as I say, there's not a lot going on in regard to. I mean, I've not seen any updates on Gahey. I've not seen. Actually, Dominic Solanke just posted on Instagram himself in the Tottenham gym from earlier today, looking all right. I mean, his ankles look okay. So maybe he is going to be okay. And what's his name? Randal Kolo Muani is the left wing signing. That would be good. Javi Gallen's deal at Nottingham Forest is collapsing. Brill Donald and Bowler is signing for Rennes. Well, yeah, he's been around the block, hasn't he? Rasmus Højlund looks like he's been announced by Napoli. I've not seen much on Mark Gahey. As I say, I've got the Talk live stream at the corner of my eye. I see Ben Jacobs talking now, but I've seen there's not a lot going on. It's what was a busy earlier day in the transfer market? It's all gone a bit quiet. Sunderland signing another player, Bertrand Traore from Ajax. I assume that's the same Bertrand Traore from. The latest on Gay was Mark Gay underwent a medical, had a proposed transfer from Crystal Palace Liverpool, but move in jeopardy was the last from Ornstein. Wow. And also, Manchester United have now moved on Garnacho, Anthony, Sancho, Højlund, Rashford, and Victor Lindelof. Would you have taken Victor Lindelof as our backup defender? I wonder. But there is literally, let me top them into Twitter. I'm trying to focus my search on here. Not a lot going on. Not a lot going on whatsoever. Also, I want to know what you think. Billy T, big friend of the channel, said earlier, it's a big six cartel. Aston Villa are paying Sancho more wages than any Tottenham player in the history. Big six cartel at it again. Pretty much. Nothing. And Tottenham haven't announced yet about, excuse me, Randal Kolo Muani as we close in on the last 6 minutes of the window. Which I think, I'll be honest, I'm just happy to get the window closed. I've had enough. Close the window, it's cold. That is so good from you, Adam McFarlane. Really, really good. I'm just seeing if there's anything else going on. Nothing too much going on. Yeah, it's all gone quiet over here. It's all gone quiet. As we're actually closing in on 200 likes in the chat. So if you want to leave a like, subscribe. 161 of you watching. Share the live stream as well. I've put a tweet live. So if you want to retweet the tweet or go and share the love on Twitter, that would be really, really good. And also, what was I going to say? Leave your super chats. I'm more likely to answer your questions because they pop up more clearly. So I really appreciate that. A lot of people are saying this. Norman Nahum Hunger. Semenyo looked fantastic at the weekend. Absolutely roasting Poro and Jed Spence at different stages. So yeah, I'm hoping that maybe we're holding off and we'll sign Semenyo because Semenyo, I think he's a Ghanaian like Mohamed Kudus. So hopefully, he's not got AFCON and we could hopefully do a deal for him because I think Lookman and Nigeria, they are at AFCON. So we would be missing him for a few fixtures. So, guys here signed a new contract. Doubt he will leave. Who signed a new contract? Oh, Semenyo. They'll just, they want to, cover their losses, won't they? They want to cover the losses. Justin Anogul, Michael Bridge on Sky. Is he saying anything? He's a Spurs fan as well, so he'll be hoping that some deals done. Me and Michael follow each other, so hopefully he can give us an update. Yeah, Lee Hellstrap said admin will do a fancy welcome Colo video. It was always Spurs. It'll be something like that. Dominic Who, yeah, the window closes in now 4 minutes. 4 minutes until deadline day is over. And Gon's football and things is we should have got Lookman, but I'm happy with the players we got in. True. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Solanke's just been spotted in the gym at Hotspur Weight. Yeah, I just mentioned that. Hopefully it's a positive. Hopefully he's not as injured as we thought. And I'm just having a look at the stats. Over 2,200, of you have joined the stream at various stages of the evening. 151 of you. Can we get 3 more likes to get 200? That'd be really, really good. But by the looks of it, see, yeah, David Tan saying, so there's no Lookman. Well, I'm going to stay live for another hour where we could talk all things Tottenham Hotspur a bit longer and see if anything's happening because it's getting, yeah. Jonathan Boyd said, is it too early to start chatting about our next match? What I'll do is I'll wait till the window shuts in 3 minutes, Jonathan. If you put another comment in saying, let's talk now or something, then we'll start talking about that. But because we're going to talk for another hour. And as we've surpassed 200 likes, thank you guys. As someone said, is Garnacho the man for Spurs? He's gone to Chelsea, so we won't be signing him. But yeah, we'll talk about the next game, which is West Ham in about 2 weeks' time, actually, because West Ham won against Nottingham Forest, and we don't like playing West Ham away. We don't, do we? 3 minutes until the transfer window slams shut for another summer. What if Here We Go comes at last minute? Would love it. Adam McFarlane saying Garnacho is a tart. Yes. Spurs chat, no more transfers. Kolo Muani play off the left comfortably. He can. And what about Kubo? Yeah, a lot of Kubo was getting a bit quiet. But yeah, hard to know. Man United approached Atletico for Gallagher on loan and he got rejected. Apparently, according to my mate Zach Jalab, which Joe Tomlinson replied with, utter waffle. 2 minutes until the window shuts. And a lot of you saying Kolo Muani will be our left winger. So, but we haven't signed a centre back, would be the only worry from that regard. I would say. Take a sip of water. It's thirsty work transfer dealings, isn't it? But hopefully, I mean, there's nothing really coming out of Spurs at the moment. Let me work it out actually while we're here. How many subs away I am from hitting the mighty 10k. Around 234. So, yeah, if you're not subbed already, you know what to do. As I say, leave your likes. Super chats are very much appreciated. I would be very, very grateful if you guys would be so kind to leave super chats. I love doing these live streams, but, yeah, it's really generous when you guys leave the super chats. But let me just look. I'm seeing if anything else is happening. But not too much at the moment. A lot of super chats already, actually, which I really, really appreciate. Someone said, "Bring your dad on the stream." I asked him a couple of months ago if he'd do a video with me, and he said no. But I think now he thinks I'm a bit of a little celebrity. He might do it. Spurs should have gone for Kang Lee. I mean, Kang Lee did look great in the game against us. I'm praying that the news comes after the window shuts because we're trying right now Bring your dad on stream. What about Rafael Leao? Yeah, nothing about him. Kim Min Jae would be good. Savinho should have put in a transfer request. He did want to come, but City, I mean, he won't play much. So anyone move out today from Spurs? Not at the moment. And Genix does magic and stuff, says it's too quiet. And by the looks of it, it is now 7 o'clock, guys. We've been streaming for over an hour, and the transfer window has slammed shut. It's closed. It's over. San JP says close. Saz 30 says it's over. Lee Houtrop saying Gil and Solomon on the way out. Stuck with Biss unless Fenerbahce come in before September 12th. Yeah, I think there's a few other windows that are open for a little bit longer. Galasine, Gundogan, so that's not happening. A lot of people saying Gay might not be happening now, which, yeah, a bit controversial that, but we will see. Wow, Payne, you're being too generous, mate. Sending another $4.99. Just want to say, mate, my favourite Spurs channel by far. Even with no Lookman, will always support coming to Spurs. Thank you very, very much. If any of you other guys want to support me like Payne has just said and give any donations, I would really, really appreciate it. I put a lot of effort into this channel. I've been doing non-stop videos for the last couple of months about the transfer window, about the start of the season. I've actually got a holiday coming up in about the end of this month or the end of September, and I'm going to relax. It's 2 weeks. I'm going to relax and just enjoy that holiday because I am knackered from this transfer window. Part of me's buzzing that it's shut. I'm not going to lie, but I've loved every minute of it. And you know, people like paying, giving $4.99 is absolutely incredible. But yeah, still 131 of you watching, 206 likes. Keep the likes up, keep the shares, keep the love going. And we will also be going, you know, streaming for about another hour to talk about, you know, see if anything else happens in the transfer window in general for Spurs, or, you know, or looking ahead to the next game. We will see. As what I was going to say was, oh, and Spurs chat has donated another 79p. Thank you so much, mate. You two guys are being very, very generous. I really appreciate it. But joke of a club, no Eze, no Isaac, no Mbappe, no Cafu. Fair play, Chip Kester. No more Lookman, guys. Yeah, I don't know. Lookman is still at Bergamo. His flight at, where is he going, Joseph Sultana? Who's tweeted that? Spurs should have gone for Anthony. No, you're all right. My guess is he will dump this Christmas window, but we'll keep it. I think Basuma's not got a lot on his contract. And Rodrigo, yeah, now stays at Real Madrid. Hello, guys. Hello. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened at all there, but my screen just faded to black. So I don't know what happened. But hopefully we haven't lost too much momentum. I hope you guys are still there. Can you hear me loud and clear? I have no idea what's just happened there in regard to yeah, that went really weird. I don't know what happened, but we're gonna have to. We've had a few viewers drop off, but I have no idea what happened there. My screen literally, my internet didn't drop out, but it looked like my. I don't know. I have no idea what happened there. But what we're gonna have to do now is we've still got the likes. We've got 112 of you who still happen around. Did it just froze? Did it just freeze? Maybe it just happened there. But what we'll have to do is if you can get your likes back up, keep commenting, go on my Twitter and retweet, and we'll try and get the stream back up because we were at about 200 there. I really don't know what happened there. I'm a bit perplexed with what happened there. YouTube failing me is what I'll blame that down to. But as I say, that wasn't the end of the stream. That wasn't the end of the stream. We were still gonna keep going strong. And I'm glad the same stream has carried on because I was worried there that I was gonna have to restart the stream. But we look like we're still cooking, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, that was a bit annoying. That's annoyed me. It's ruined my transfer window. I'm joking. But yeah, a lot of you, Sonny, what are your thoughts about the West Ham match? We'll talk about that now, as there's not a lot going on transfer wise. West Ham, I mean, I've not catched the highlights yet of the West Ham game, but they did sound like they were a lot better. They did look like they were a lot better, which does worry me. Obviously, they've kept Bowen, they've kept Paqueta, we've got Kudus. It's away from home as well, so there is always that worry that you know, our form against West Ham in general is not amazing, but away from home it's even a bit more patchy. Uh, so yeah, it's one of those ones where I'm nervous as always. I'm worried. It's West Ham, but it's a big game. It's their cup final. But yeah, we will see how that goes. But yeah, keep getting your questions in, your super chats. Leave your like, subscribe if you're new as well. Still 100 of you. Sorry about the technical glitch there. Maybe Daniel Levy's trying to remove my stream. That's probably what it is. Norman Nayahunga says, why did Frank let Vuskovic go? Vuskovic has just put out a comment saying that he wants game time. And I think at Spurs this season, he would have been backup. He would have been, um, for the cup games, maybe. And he wants first team football. He wants to play first team football in the Premier League, in general. So he will be a future star. You got to remember, he is only 18 years old. And I mean, I would like to see him, could have been used in the back three, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he's obviously he was at I've forgotten the Croatian club. He was at Veselu in the Belgian league. He was then at Hayak Split. We signed him for. So yeah, well, we'll see what happens with him. And he's at Hamburg now. Spurs deep state you on. You're something you shouldn't know. Yeah, who knows? Are we going to get Liao? It feels like it's unrealistic. No, I don't really rate Liao. The Liga transfer window not closed yet. We can still sign Rodrigo. Yeah, it sounds about right. No more signings. Yeah, hopefully we will see what happens in the next couple of hours, but I doubt it. And Payne, again, 4.99, mate. You're being too generous. This is for all the chat. First time going to London in December. Any advices on places to visit or things to do outside of the Liverpool match? Oh, you're going to Liverpool match? Wow, that's going to be some game. I mean, if you've never been to London before, and in December it's going to be really Christmassy, I'd tick off all the touristy bits. Go and see Buckingham Palace. Go and see Big Ben and Parliament, and there's just go in traditional pubs. Go up and down the Thames. It's London's one of the classiest cities in the world. I lived in London for 4 years. I don't live there anymore. I'm originally from Essex. I don't live there either, but I live just outside London, and I love living in London. But I'm glad I live outside London now. It can get a bit hectic. But yeah, we will see. Some will blame your feed breakdown on Levy. I already have. I've already blamed Levy. Don't you worry, Gary Riddell. Jonathan Boyd said Simmons debut versus West Ham. I am excited about Xavi Simmons. No doubt about that. And Saz says, I'm not ready yet, says Vuskovic. Yeah, that's what he said. David Tan says, cheapskate Levy will never change, even what he got from the Morgan's White and Eze deal. Hopefully, I mean, I doubt anything's going to happen now. It's all gone a bit quiet. I've heard nothing on Gay. I've heard nothing on any of the other deals. Even Isaac hasn't been announced yet, and that was confirmed this morning. Jonathan Boyd says, could Johnson play as a second striker and move someone else on the left, other way to rearrange? Yeah, I feel like, Johnson is just not, Johnson does not, Johnson is not perfect for certain games. He's perfect for other games where, we're going to counter attack. There's going to be a bit more space. The dribblers, the Xavi Simmons and the Mohamed Kudus are better for those games. So, yeah, I mean, we saw against Burnley that Brennan Johnson was the better option. Even against City, better option. So, and now we've got a range of versatile players and attackers. We will see that. So, but literally, I mean, group chats and here we go. Yeah, there's not been. Oh, I thought there was an up down gay there. 90 of you watching, thank you so much for staying in tune after the whatever happened with my technical difficulties. But yeah, if you can all keep sharing this stream, share it on your community feeds on YouTube, leave your likes, get involved in the chat because that will still keep boosting it to the algorithm. We're live with quite a few people at the moment. It's a shame because we had a good momentum there and it's gone a bit Pete Tong, which is a real shame. But we're still enjoying it. We've still had a good run, and still around 100 of you watching is fantastic. But where were we? Gary Riddell, where do you live outside of London? I live in Surrey now. I live in Surrey. I won't say whereabouts in Surrey because as much as I love you guys, I don't want you coming to my house. I don't know. I might have some super fans. We never know. But Sky 63, can we beat Arsenal? Can we beat Arsenal? Oh, can we best Arsenal? Can we be in top four. I don't know. I don't think we're. I think Arsenal was still a better side than us. I think they've had a better transfer window than us. They need some different options. Gokares yet to be seen if he can be the answer. Eze's good. Suba Mendy's quite a good signing. I think they still needed a left winger. Um, so I think we both had good windows. I asked earlier, what would you rate our window out of 10? Guys, if you haven't already answered, I would give it a 7. I'd still give it a 7. I think Kudos is a great signing. Palhinha is something we needed for years. Takai's got potential. Um, said Kudos. Xavi Simmons is a game changer. Yeah, David Tan gave it a 7 out of 10. Kobe Mead says, great window. That left side is fine for me. Now, Odebear and Tel will have bigger season. They need minutes if they're going to be legit. And yeah, and Randal Kolo Muani, not been announced yet. Not been announced. Randal Kolo Muani, which is a shame, but hopefully he will get announced soon. Gary Rodell says, your videos seem to freeze when YouTube shows an advertisement. That's my see. So when you do your streams, you can pick the sort of adverts that show, and I just go for what they recommend, which is balanced, because otherwise you either bombard people or or keep it balanced. So I keep it balanced. But yeah, if you just refresh the stream, it should be all right. But 95 of you watching, hope you're doing well, guys. Thank you for joining the stream. As I say, deadline day, the window has now been shut for 12 minutes. And there's not a lot being spoken about in general. The Gay deal looks like it might be collapsing. The Isak hasn't been announced yet. Randal Kolo Muani hasn't been announced yet. What do you make of the Randal Kolo Muani news? As I say, we'll probably be going live till about 8 o'clock. And hopefully Randal Kolo Muani gets confirmed. And you know what Spurs are like? They love doing all these, grand announcement videos and whatnot. But at the moment, I'm having a little scroll on Twitter. There's not a lot being spoken about in general where it goes to Spurs. Oh, of course, Ben Chilwell has gone to Strasbourg. I mean, that deal's come out of nowhere, so there's still time. There is still time for some deals to be done. And Burnley have signed someone. They do their funny little reactions. Sky Sports News saying Manuel Solomon to Crystal Palace and Kolo Muani to Tottenham deal sheets have been lodged. So Manuel Solomon looks like he's still heading out of the door at Spurs. Kolo Muani still going as well. I think that's pretty much done. Oh, Johan Visser still hasn't been announced to Newcastle. Apparently, a deal sheet, according to Miguel Delaney, a deal sheet has gone in for Mark Gahey. So God knows what is going on in this. I'm seeing some nice graphics. I'm seeing Invert the Wings done a graphic of Spurs' best lineup when they're all fit. He's done Vicario, Udogie, Van de Ven, Romero, Spence, Bovan, Palhinha, Kulusevski, Simmons, Kolo Muani, and Kudus in a 4-3-3. Let me know, you guys, what would be your lineup for the game against West Ham? Who would you be lining up with in that game against West Ham? Because there's a lot of options now. That's what's quite good. There's a lot of options we can go for in this team. But yeah, let me know again what you make of the window. How do you rate the window so far? We're going to be going live till about 8 o'clock. And I just think, it's a good window. I'm happy with the window so far. It's closed. I'm happy with the window. I think it's a good window. But again, Spurs just never seem to be doing enough. It is just it is something that I think we left it too late. It just annoys me that Spurs just seem to not want to, go that extra mile to really do the most. But and Kobe Mead says people don't seem to realise Simmons and Muani can play left. Kula's coming back this season too. It's just, I feel like if we had our full squad, and I saw Arsenal fans moan about injuries, the injuries we had have been disgraceful. But if we had Madison, if we had Kulusevski, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it, if we could do that? David Tan says Liverpool spent almost 400 million this window to. Oh no, he's just retracted that comment. Kobe Mead says your team would be Vicario in goal, Udogie left back, Pora right back, Van de Ven, Left centre back Romero, right centre back picks itself. Saar left centre mid. See, I'd be picking Saar over Boval at the moment. Palhinha right centre mid. Kulusevski, uh, Cam Simmons left wing. Kudus right wing. Kolo Muani, striker Kolo Muani rather. But Gay, has been here we go'd. He was here we go'd earlier, so I don't know if happening in front of everyone's eyes. So Gay's have to put it in for a 2-hour extension. So no. Palace have announced a new centre back from nowhere. I did just see that, so we will see. We will see about that one. But yeah, there's not a lot. I'm just seeing loads of people reacting to Ben Chilwell going to Strasbourg. But a lot of people are kicking up a fuss about that. It's just hopefully, I mean, Lookman out the blue. That would be great. But yeah, we'll see about that. Payne, here we go. Where are you seeing that? Is Fabrizio here we go that again, or is it another? Is it another? Oh, God knows what's going on. Right, there was something I wanted to check as well to see if it's it's really confusing. What is this window? It was so busy when I was at work earlier at Talksport. It seemed to all just gone a bit quiet. I think everyone's lost the plot. I think everyone's had enough. Bruno Costa saying he would go with a 4-3-3. Spence, Romero, Van der Ven, Poro, Polina, Saar, Boval, Johnson, Kudos, Solanke. Gary Rogers says we have to trust in Thomas Frank, and he did say if we can't get the players I want, I would sooner keep what I have, and it looks like he's going to do that. J Nix does magic and stuff. No, here we go. Just an up to Palace. Wow. Came across then sleeper app in the US, usually very accurate. Say the bid came in before the end of the window. Interesting. There's so much going on, and I don't the centre back that Palace have just signed as the potential Mark Gahey replacement. Let me see who he is. I'm just getting it up on my phone. Crystal Palace. Jaden Canvor. Like for sign Jaden Canvor on a 4-year deal. No idea who that is. No idea. Absolutely no idea. Gay to Liverpool for 35 million is a steal. It's because he's got a year left on his contract and he wants to leave. So they've got to make that deal happen. Otherwise, they won't make any money on him. They won't make any money on him at all. And I think Palace are putting in a sell-on clause. So if Gay leaves Liverpool, they'll make some money from that as well. Sakib Rahman says the window is closed. Missing on Lookman might be costly. But Simmons and Muani, they can play on the wing. And Bruno Costa thinks they should both come in for the West Ham game. Gary Waddell says TNE1 kettles on in California and Jay's at the ready. I think it's been a bit of a washout in the end. In general, it started so well, but is there any? I want to know you guys in general. I'll throw this question out there, and as I say, 77 of you still watching. Thank you so much for still watching. As I say, we had a little technical glitch, so there was a little bit of a drop off. But if you're still watching, leave your likes, get your super chat questions in right now. I'm throwing questions out there. Who is your signing of the summer for Tottenham? Who is your signing of the summer in general in the Premier League or Europe? And who do you think is going to be the biggest flop of the summer signings wise? Who do you think is going to have a mare? And that could be in general. That doesn't just have to be Spurs. That could be whoever you think. But yeah, it's one of those ones where I'm still not sure what Tottenham. Could they pull something out? Could they shock a few guys? Is there any good players we could get from Turkey? I doubt it. I doubt it. There's nothing much from me. But yeah, we get Osherman, but I doubt that's going to happen. He's probably the best one out there. Sam Payne says that as well. But Barty Gill says my best starting XI after Madison Kulu Solanke return. Xavi left wing, Kolo striker, Kudos right wing, Cam Madison, centre mids Palhinha and Saar, left backs Spence, centre backs is the rest. Kulusevski, Solanke, Richardson, yeah, options. What's happening with Muani? says Oliver Jones. The latest on Muani is it's pretty much done. It's pretty much agreed. Excuse me. Um, Contract's done. It's a loan, no obligation, no option. Spurs are just going to milk it when it happens. They're doing the reaction video, the interviews, and all that. He was spotted earlier by Sky Sports doing his medical in London. It's done. Don't worry, it's done. I know we've been scarred all summer, but it's done. Do not worry, Spurs fans. As we all the forwards we got in can play in multiple positions. That's a very big plus. It is a very big plus. Says Gary. But yeah, David Tan says kudos, of course. Takai is GG to be is to be a flop at the moment. Frank never mentioned till now. The Rude Boy Sound says last January Spurs reported offer 60 million for Gay. If true, why Palace did not offer him to Spurs or was up to their player? I think Gay didn't want to come to us, and now he's got Liverpool on the table. Who can blame him? And if you also look at it, I mean, they were. I mean, I think Newcastle last summer offered Palace 80 million, so they should have taken that. But then again, Gay captained them to an FA Cup, priceless for a club like Palace. Jonathan Boyd said Simmons the best Spurs signing, Isaac the best overall, if that happens, and Eze the biggest flop. That's what I want to hear, Jonathan Boyd. Oliver Jones says, yeah, man, I'm scared of everything now. I think us Spurs fans got PTSD. We don't trust Fabrizio Romano. We only trust our, in the nose. Your Paul O'Keefe's, your Alistair Golds or whatnot. David Ornstein. But there's not really much being said. Ornstein hasn't tweeted for a while either. Last one was about Donnarumma. Matt Law saying Raheem Sterling and Axel Disasi didn't get a move. But that's still funny that Sterling and Thingy are still happy, still at the club. Emerick Laporte's going back to Bilbao. I like that. Back to Bilbao is class. I'm just laughing at a lot of the players who didn't get sold. Basuma might have to work his way back into the squad now. But let's see. Barty Guys says, funny thing is, as soon as Eze came on for Arsenal, they conceded and he had a stinker. I didn't actually watch the game yesterday. Saturday was my football day, so I went out yesterday for the day with my girlfriend, so I didn't see that. Sky63 says Kolo has been signed. He has, but we haven't had any confirmation yet. So hopefully that will get confirmed soon. Gary Waddell says Mikey Moore next year on the left. So best we didn't block him with a new start left winger. Plus, why did we get Tell if we need another left winger? It's true. I back Tell. Hopefully he can come good. Same with Odebear, Mikey Moore. I'm a bit annoyed Mikey Moore's gone on loan to Rangers because Rangers are terrible and Russell Mine looks absolutely washed. David Tan says Romano, here we go, is the biggest flop this window. He's had a stinker. He's had to here we go Jackson twice. He's just he's journalistic integrity is up in the air. That's what I can say about that. Would have taken Laporte. Yeah, I mean Laporte is still. I can't imagine he's all that. Laporte. 31. I mean, could have done a job, but going back to his, the club where he was made is great. Christian Ibsen says deal shoot for Solomon loan to Palace. Yeah, I did say that. Sky63, do you follow cricket? Cricket is actually my second favourite sport. Actually, this is what it's come to. It's on deadline day. We've done nothing apart from Kolo Muani. We're having to talk about other sports, but I like this question. Do you follow cricket? Yeah, my second favourite sport. My favourite denomination of cricket is Test cricket. Buzzing for the Ashes. Love the India Test. I'd say my top three sports are football, cricket, and then boxing. I've really got into my boxing, especially since being at TalkSport for the last 2 years. Really love the heavyweight division. I really like the likes of Moses Atoma. Uzyk's probably my favourite fighter. I saw Parker. What was the fight confirmed? Parker and I've forgotten that it was Joseph Parker and I've forgotten the other guy. He's been confirmed for a new fight, so that should be quite good. Barty Guys says Tell is more of a striker than a winger at Bayern. He was a baller as a striker at Bayern. His best positions are centre forward, striker. Last game he played striker and almost got scored. Yeah, I mean the chance he had against The chance he had against Bournemouth at the end was it was a really clean strike. Shame it didn't go either side of the post. But yeah, a real shame. But yeah, I'm thinking there's really not a lot going on. As I say, I know there's only 70 of you still watching, 214 likes. If you can get those likes up even more, that'd be great. And get a few more people. As annoyingly, my stream cut out. Um, Same stream, but for some reason, I don't know if the page dropped off or whatnot. Um, but it sort of killed the momentum a little bit. So if you can keep getting questions in, keep liking and sharing this, and hopefully we can get up to about 100. That would be really good because we were at one stage this evening. We were on about I can't remember how many people were in the. I can't see on there, can I? It's gone. But yeah, we had loads of people watching, and I've loved this. It's been a really good stream, but there's not a lot going on. And as I say, guys, I was going to stream till about 8 o'clock, but if you guys, if you want to get in some last questions, I might cut it a little bit early because, as I say, Kolo Muani has not been announced as of yet, but it's pretty much done. And all the other transfers, I'm looking on Twitter right now. There's um, Hotspur L'Equipe are saying that Paris Saint-Germain failed in their attempts to include a purchase option within Tottenham's loan deal for Kolo Muani. I think we all knew that. But there's not... What's that? William Osulu's move to Frankfurt is not happening. Looks like he's staying. Oh, and big breaking news. Big breaking news. Dele Alli has terminated his contract with Como, according to Sky in Italy. Would you sign Dele Alli? Would you bring in Dele Alli? That's gonna that would be an interesting little conversation while we're still going on. I might put that in I'm keen to open that up to conversation. But yeah, that's really it's not a lot going on, is there? But I'll still have a little scroll on Twitter. As I say, guys, if you are new, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll be doing a little video in the morning about Kolo Muani, I think, and reacting to the window in general. So if you want me to talk about certain things in that video, let me know. Yeah, a lot of people reporting that now that Dele Alli terminated his contract with Como. Damasio saying that would be a free agent. Might be an option. Might be an option. I could imagine. I could imagine. Uh, Yeah, it's still about looks like Manor Solomon's going to be off as well. Not too much going on in terms of that, much more than that. But yeah, let's have a look what other people are saying. Uh, Gary Riddell, I'd like to know who picks our loans because they are really rubbish at choosing teams. Rangers are rubbish. Donnelly isn't starting. Yeah, I'll be honest. We want them to get game time, but they're not getting game time. Like, come on. Um, Delhi to MK Dons. Yeah, I rate that. David Tan says, I agree that Tell is not playing in his best position till now. He needs to build up physicality to play in this league. Yeah, I agree. Rude Boy San said, as a talk sport commentator, how is your relationship with legit sources? So I'm in group chats with the likes of Ben Jacobs, with Alex Crook. They get their information from clubs, really close to the clubs. So yeah, that's where I sort of we get information from there. We get breaking news. Obviously, Talksport is a Premier League rights holder when it comes to not radio rights holder. So we have good relationships with the Premier League clubs. So that's really good. Barty guy says Kolo Muani has had 15 goals at Frankfurt when he went. PSG was benched. That's what people forget. Great at Frankfurt. Kolo Muani was great at Juventus last season, and has also he didn't get most people at PSG didn't get a chance. It's only now that PSG are coming into their own. Yeah, a lot of people want Dele Alli. Bis can still move to Turkey. Hopefully that can be done. I'd rather get rid of him. A lot of people wanting Dele Alli. It would be. I think that would make a lot of sense. Dele Alli coming to Spurs because I just feel like he is if we could get like a bit of form out of him, I think Thomas Frank, it's like when Thomas Frank took on Christian Eriksen when he was at Brentford and revived his career and then he got moved to Manchester United. I wouldn't be against it. Would really not be against it. But yeah, it's a lot of question marks now over Tottenham's window. How do you rate it? How do you think it's gone? Do you think Tottenham needed to do a little bit more? Because at the moment, yeah, I feel like Tottenham. It's a bit like, oh, a lot of people would say we could have done a bit more, but like we could have got a left winger, we could have got another defender, but we've still got a rich squad. We haven't got rid of many people this summer either, so there's still potential for Spurs to do a little bit more. But you know what, guys? 68 of you watching. I was going to go live till 8, but there's not a lot going on. And unless you guys, as I say, appreciate 68 you still watching. 218 likes. My goal was to get 100. Uh, before we go, I'll open up to one more. Any more final questions? As I say, 71 of you watching. Don't forget to leave your likes, leave your comments now if you want to get your final questions in. I'll go maybe another 10 minutes, maybe just a final another 10 minutes. Get your super chats in if you could be so generous. I would really, really appreciate it. I've been going live now for about 90. Hello, guys. Honestly, I do not know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. It says my connection's perfect, but I'll probably. Oh, honestly, sorry about it freezing. It said my connection was excellent. It said my connection was excellent. But what I'll probably do, guys, is because it keeps doing some weird technical glitches, I'll leave it there. Hope you have enjoyed. Thank you for your support. 59 of you still here hanging about, even though, you know, it's frozen a couple of times. But yeah, Gary Riddell, I didn't realize it was his first time watching. So big up. Um, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sick of haters as well. Who cares about the haters? But yeah, Rude Boy as well. I find him to be very smug on Spurs. He is. He is. He says it to my face. How optimistic are you about us signing either Raphael or Lookman? And would such a transfer Spurs? Well, it's not going to happen now, is it? It's not going to happen now, sadly. But hope you have enjoyed the stream. As I say, guys, leave your likes, subscribe if you're new, and also leave your super chats as I'm winding down the stream. They really, really help and support me. But yeah, it's been a big deadline day. Tottenham signing Randal Kolo Muani. They didn't get Lookman over the line. They didn't get a defender. But overall, I think Spurs have had a very good window. But as I say, hope you've enjoyed. Subscribe, all that sort of good stuff. And I'll see you guys soon. Have a good rest of your evening. Bye-bye.